Hi, welcome to another episode of Hot Takes. Now, we all knew Rayner was rubbish, trying to build houses, 1.5 million houses, never going to happen. My God, she is a genius in comparison with what we've got. Matthew Pennycook, the housing minister there, worked under Rayner, as so many have, is being advised by figures from anti-housing organisations, shall we say. He has now got the job of building these houses, so he thinks, I need help. I'll go and get some advice. Who are you going to go to? People who hate houses, people who don't want houses built. You have Toby Lloyd, who was a former number 10 housing advisor. This was under Theresa May's days. He's blamed for switching the National Planning Policy Framework's market value test to what is known now as the existing use value model. It's very complex, it's boring, I'm not going to go into it. But basically, it means large numbers of smaller housing sites are unviable. What you want is a smaller number of large housing sites. So rather than building 20 over here and 50 over there, you'll build a huge site and go, well, there's 1,000 houses in. Rabbit hutches, high density, high crime, lower standard of living. You don't want 20 houses, because what you do when you get 20 houses, people tend to have slightly bigger houses, bigger gardens, more space, better mental health. No. Crowd them in, give them the tiniest garden you can legally get away with, give them one parking space, even though there might be mother, father, 2 kids. That's going to need 4 cars eventually. Because then later on, of course, you can get the fights and everything, the ill feeling, just generally make people miserable. Now, I'm going to say, when I worked for a house builder, we did it on the rule, the standard housing build that we did for many, many years until they changed the rules, was we put 1 car parking space for each bedroom. That tended to work out. Rules changed. We always had curtilage at the front. Rules change. Now you build straight onto the public path, simply because that way planning inspectors and council workers can walk past your house and look in the window. There's no aspect of privacy. And and that was a planning officer that told me that. That's why they like it. That's why they don't allow front gardens very much anymore. It's very exceptional to get a front garden, because that would give a line of defence and you can keep people out and away from the front. They can't peer in. Genuinely true. Nosy buggers, aren't they? But anyway, Lloyd has changed this. He's someone who doesn't want to build nice houses. He just wants rabbit hutches. You've got a woman called Rose Grayson. She's addressed as an expert advisor to the housing department and to Matthew Pennycook, who's now the Minister of State, obviously, for housing and planning. She also happens to be a policy manager at Shelter, looking after the homeless. And she was there and put into a leftist think tank that said building too many houses was destructive on the environment. We don't want too many houses in one place. So you've got one guy saying we need to build big and another one saying we need to not build big. So the result is neither of them will build at all. And that's what's going to happen. So you've got this guy who's actually in a worse position than Rayner was, being advised badly by 2 idiots, neither of whom have got a clue when it actually comes to housing, because both of them are just policy wonks. None of them have ever got their hands dirty by laying one brick on another. 35 years in construction, I know more in my little finger about house building than those 2 would in a year. Why don't they get experts in? Why don't they actually get in people from the industry? They'll build houses like there's no tomorrow. Remove the red tape, let the builders build, and let them build everywhere. Small plots, big plots, new estate here, a little private estate somewhere, some nice 5-bedroom with well-appointed lawns. Can't build them anymore, not easily. No, it's got to be high density, because, it's important that people aren't allowed to have space. No wonder people are leaving this country. Can't get a half-decent house anymore. And never buy a house built after about 2000, by the way. Just saying. Thanks very much. Like I say, press like, press subscribe, and I will speak to you later.